Okay. Welcome to another edition of the Check Ball Podcast. I am your host, Melo Williams. Today's special guest is 2025 Reagan Flickinger from Clinton High School. How you doing today, sir?
Good. How about you?
I'm good, good. Thanks for joining us today on the Check Ball Podcast. We're gonna start off the podcast by breaking the ice, asking the icebreaker question. So that question is, do you have any pregame rituals?
Well, yeah, what me and like all my team, well, like most teams, we like listen to music on the bus. And then one thing that I do during warm-ups is like after we do our like layup lines, like I go to the bench and like talk to my coaches for a little bit.
Cool. Okay. So let's get right to it. What got you started playing basketball?
Well, in elementary school, I wasn't really like a basketball player, but like I just did like all the things my friends did. And so like I played football, I played soccer, and then my friends started playing basketball, so I just started playing basketball really.
Okay, nice. What was it about basketball that drew you to it after, playing it after a little while?
I just thought like it was just different than the other sports. Like right when I first started playing it, and like once you start having success in something, then it really like it's more fun for you. So I was always pretty good at it. So yeah.
Okay. What other sports did you play growing up?
Well, when I was in elementary school, I played like soccer and football, like I said, and then I ran cross country and track, and that's what I still do now.
Okay. Cross country. What do you feel cross country and advantage cross country gives you playing basketball?
Yeah, yeah, it's huge. Like whenever we're in practices and we're doing like conditioning stuff, like I'm always like in the at the front, like just like in the games, like I just don't get as tired as the rest of my teammates, and I think it's like a true advantage for me.
Most definitely. So the conditioning definitely pays off then, and
Yeah.
the endurance, most definitely. Okay. Um, What do you like playing most about basketball? What is it about the game of basketball that you enjoy playing it the most?
What I really like is I just like when like you and your teammates like really just like come together as one and like everyone's clicking and like everyone's happy. But just like when you and your team are really like having an amazing day and stuff like that. Like when you can get other people make other people better.
Most definitely, most definitely. I know you definitely get a joyous feel when helping other people get better, assisting, and different like things like that besides scoring. What is it about being a playmaker that you like though?
Yeah, I just like a bunch of people like say like, oh yeah, it's better to have assist than like get a basket, and I definitely think that's true because like an assist, like you're making yourself and your teammate happy, you know what I mean? And like you just feel like you're like running the show, like you're the general, and I just really like that part, like being in control.
Most definitely, most definitely. Being from Wisconsin, Wisconsin is definitely a basketball state. Many don't believe that, but it is definitely a hotbed state when it comes to recruiting and things of that nature. So the competition is definitely there every night. Would you speak about the competition that you face on a nightly basis, just in the regular season, playing high school basketball in Wisconsin?
Yeah, I mean, it's really difficult because all teams are like really well coached, and every team has like a bunch of guys. Like even in the Rock Valley, which like isn't the biggest conference, but everyone has guys that know their role because they're really well coached. So yeah, yeah, it's tough.
Most definitely. Okay. Um, what is it about the Rock Valley Conference that you like playing in, or playing about the Rock Valley Conference playing in it?
Yeah, I just really like the it's kind of like friendly like competition. You know what I mean? Like everyone like we all live kind of close to each other. It's like there are a lot of friends like within teams like on different teams, but just like competing like every night and like it's a very competitive conference and I really like that.
And being that it's a competitive conference, you had the opportunity to get moved up as a freshman to play varsity basketball. Prior to being moved up, what advice were you given, going into the season after knowing you were going to be moved up as a freshman?
Yeah, well, like what I was told and what I would tell like other people that are coming up is like you're not there by chance. Like you earned it, so just play with confidence really because like you're there for a reason.
For sure, most definitely. And when the season got going, did you feel like you really belonged on the varsity team?
Yeah, yeah. My teammates like really welcomed me, and it was cool. Yeah, I felt welcome right away.
Most definitely. Could you speak about like a moment during your freshman year, that the game, fell in your hands and you stepped up and took leadership and took over the game, regardless if it was scoring, rebounding, playing defense?
Yeah, well, a big one that like sticks out to me is our first game of the year. We so before my freshman year, we won one game in the past 3 seasons. So our first game, we played a conference game. We played Jefferson, and we went on a huge run to start the game. We had really good energy, and I played all right in the first half, and then in the second half, our team like our guys started missing shots, and then I just felt like the confidence like kind of grow in me, and then like we ended up winning that game, and that was just a huge boost for our whole team and me included.
Most definitely. And and speaking of that moment, did you guys carry that over into the next game? And even if the next game didn't turn out into a win, could you speak about, that moment that you guys carried from that moment going forward, that you knew that that moment brought you guys together as a team?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it definitely did. Like we played a lot of tough games. Like we didn't have the best record, but like I think without that game, without that win, like it would have been a really tough season. But just like the togetherness, like it really just like helped us bond, I think.
Definitely. Speaking of bonding moments, how important is it for a team to be together like that and going through adversity to for a team to come together, for say like when your senior season comes?
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely huge. Like one thing that was good about our team was pretty much all of us were like really good friends. Like the senior class was super close. And then we had a couple sophomores that were pulled up, including myself, that really liked the seniors. So yeah, it was huge because you knew even if like you played bad, like it's your friends that are your teammates, so they'd have your back.
Most definitely, most definitely. Going into your sophomore year, what expectations did you put upon yourself, after being moved up as a freshman?
Yeah, I mean, I had pretty big goals coming in the year. I knew like my team and myself, like we worked really hard in the off season, so we were definitely like looking to take a huge step up. And I was just looking to in the summer, I had a really nice good summer with our team. So I was just looking to play with a lot of confidence and just like really lead our team. And I think yeah, I think that worked out pretty good.
For sure. Now you'll be going into your junior year. 2 years of playing varsity basketball, the expectations, more comfortable being with the guys in the system and the things of that nature. What are you looking for? Expectations do you have for yourself going into your junior year?
Yeah, well, we're losing some seniors. So team wise, what we want to try and do is we want to try and match the amount of wins we had this year, or gain, obviously. And then we want to win another playoff game, which we did this year. And then individually, I just wanna lead our team, whatever that entails. And then hope one of my big goals is I want to get 1,000 points as a junior.
For sure, most definitely, and that's okay to say. Um, Talking about your game, your style of play. If you had to point out a player or players that your game remind you of, who would it be?
I would say would like to like think I play like kind of like Josh Giddey, like from the Thunder, because the way he manipulates the game, like he's not super athletic, he's not super fast, but, like he gets to his spots, he makes a lot of shots, he's a really good passer, he's a good vocal leader. So I think I like to think I play like him.
Man, most definitely. I would definitely have to agree with that. And I love that comparison, especially with the size, the length, the ability to see the court. Josh Giddey is definitely one of my favorite players in the league right now, man. And he definitely had a great play in tournament as well. So that's definitely a player to definitely keep, modeling your game after, most definitely. Um, Speaking of the NBA, first let's go to college basketball. We see that NIL and things like that is going into college basketball. Is becoming more of a thing. Players are getting paid. Do you feel that college players will still want to attend college for the same reasons that they did prior to NIL?
Yeah, I think it'll be a lot different, especially on the women's side, because like they get paid like pretty much more in college than the WNBA. So like some college basketball like women's stars are basically saying like I don't really want to go to the WNBA. Like I'd rather just stay in college. So that's really interesting. And yeah, for on the boys side, I think it's different too. Like obviously like you want to go to a school that you really like. but also like the transfer portal and stuff now, I definitely think it's transformed it.
With the transfer portal and everything, do you believe that can still be a benefit for college basketball? Because me personally, even if NIL is involved, like you said, a lot of women players might stay in college basketball before they want to jump to the WNBA. Personally, I believe that's going to help on the men's side of the game as well too, because if we look at the statistics prior to all the early entries straight out of high school, players stayed in college a lot, right?
Yeah.
And there's rumors, but we as alleged players always have gotten paid. Now that NIL is on the forefront and players can get paid, everyone knows they're not going to go to the NBA. Do you believe that this still could benefit college basketball and players as well?
Yeah, yeah, I definitely think so. I just think like the less amount of like one and dones is pretty much better for college basketball, and I think NIL benefits that.
For sure, most definitely. Speaking about the NBA, what do you like about the NBA, and what about the NBA do you feel could be better?
Well, one thing like I think like just like watching the NBA, like the shot, like just the skills and the shot making is just like off the charts. Like compared to any other basketball, like college, high school, like even like Euro, like the NBA is just like the skill level is just on a different like world. And then I think if I could like change something, I guess maybe it'd just be like the level of intensity in regular season games. Like just if you put more like pressure on those games, maybe like the defense would ramp up and stuff like that. But yeah, I think the NBA is great.
Most definitely. The Bucks play today. You're from Wisconsin. Are you a Bucks fan?
Yeah, I am.
Okay,
I
most
am.
definitely. What are you expecting to see from the Milwaukee Bucks this year? Do they have enough? Is it all dependent on the help of Chris Middleton? What's your thoughts about the Milwaukee Bucks?
I think it'll be interesting because I think we should pretty much definitely get to the Eastern Conference Finals, but then the Celtics are a tough matchup because of Tatum and Brown. But I think if Middleton's healthy, that's a totally different game. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Most definitely. Okay. All right. Let's take it back to basketball real quick and just you personally. Like you said, Josh Giddey, you're a fan of Josh Giddey. You're definitely a floor general. You can get your shot for yourself and create for others. What skills do you feel it takes to be a good floor general?
I just think you really have to like see plays develop before other people see them and just like see the whole floor. And like you just have to like have watched and played a lot of basketball to be a good floor general because you just need to see stuff before anyone else sees stuff. You need to be able to anticipate.
For sure. Okay. Um, what can a coach expect to you to bring to a team environment?
One thing I really take pride in and like I'm trying to like get into our program now is just like be a really good teammate. Like one of the things that we're trying to say is like you can impact the game so much when your shot's not going in. So I really think just like being a good vocal leader and like being a good teammate. And then like on the like skill side wise, like I think I'm like a playmaking guard who can find his own shot and knock it down.
For sure. Let's talk about some AAU basketball. You play with the Wisconsin Swing. AAU basketball is in full effect. Would you speak about the difference in AAU basketball versus playing high school basketball?
Yeah, it's a lot different, especially the practices. Our coach is pretty intense. So he kind of always talks about in high school, like there's a lot of like walkthrough stuff and like in AAU practices we're competing almost every day. And really like you could tell I've really totally could tell it's got me a lot better just because we have a really good group and everyone's really good. So just competing against them every day is just really good for my development.
Most definitely. And speaking of that development, where do you feel that it has helped you the most?
I just think like being able to kind of beat like a guy one on one, you know what I mean? Because like in high school we do a lot of like pass and cut and like other guys are getting you open more. Like in AU, it's a lot of like, all right, this is your matchup. Like you have this side of the floor, like go beat your guy. So I think I've gotten a lot better at that.
Most definitely, for sure. And the benefits of AAU basketball, where do you feel that you will be able to take that you learn from AAU back to Clinton and just help not only yourself but your team as well?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely just think AU just brings a lot of toughness because AU refs don't really call much. So like just knowing like, oh, you're not going to get this call, so just playing through contact and then just like kind of staying like mentally stable. Like you're gonna have your ups and downs, obviously, and like when AAU, you could like really like let those affect you, but just like staying strong pretty much.
For sure. Um, and we know AU is a long season. It's a lot of players, especially in Wisconsin. Do um do you take it personal when you travel? That you have Wisconsin on your back, that you represent the state and not just Clinton.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, when we go to bigger tournaments, that's what our coach always says. Like the thing on your jersey means something, and our program's like pretty well known. People want to beat us, but we definitely have a chip on our shoulder.
Is there a player out there in the AAU circuit that you love facing? That someone that just brings out the best in you?
Yeah, we're on kind of a different circuit this year, so I'm not really sure. But in on our old circuit, Olin Zelmer from Foundation Athletics, we play him in high school too. So he's just really fun to go against. He's one of my good friends. So
Most definitely. And if you had to choose five players from Wisconsin, one off your team from Clinton and one off your team with Wisconsin Swing, and the other two from another AU program from the state of Wisconsin to go against any team in the state in the country, who would those players be?
okay, so from Clinton, I'm gonna go with my guy Peyton Bingham. He's a senior, so he was really good for us this year, and he's just a really great rebounder and energy guy. And then on my AAU team, I'd probably go with Tyler Haney from Sun Prairie West, just because Peyton's already a big, Tyler's a guard, so I think they would work good together. And then I'm gonna take Preston Schaffner from Edgerton. He's like lights out shooter. He could just like sit in the corner and shoot threes for us. And then I'll take Rico from Memorial at the four.
Rico. Okay. Okay. That's a nice squad. Definitely. We got a couple minutes left here. What has basketball, cross country, and just participating in sports taught you about yourself, and you felt that has prepared you for life outside of sports?
Yeah, I just really think like sports are really just all about like competing and like how far you can push yourself and just like bettering yourself every day, really. And I think I've just being consistent with your work. I think that'll really help me in the real world.
Most definitely. And if sports don't work out for you the way that you would want it to, what would you like to do in your life that's sports related? That would be like an ultimate job in the sports field.
I would love to be a coach when I get older. Like I think I could be a good coach, and I would love to just like impact like people's lives as a coach.
Most definitely. That's a great answer. I mean, because that's what coaches do. It's just not about winning games, the X's and O's. It's about impacting lives and things of that nature.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
if there's one thing that you have taken from a coach that you would apply to yourself, your philosophy as a coach, what would that be with your closing words?
Well, one of the things our high school coach always says is just like work harder than the person next to you. And so if we could just like if I could get all the guys on my team to just work really hard every single day at practice and at every game, I think we could be good.
Most definitely. Well, Regan, I definitely appreciate your time today, stopping by the Check Ball podcast so that we could talk basketball with you and just recognize you for your many contributions to the game of basketball and what you have going on.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Most definitely. And today's special guest is 2025 Reagan Flickinger from Clinton High School. And we will be coming back with the next episode. So everyone continue blessings.